not get in my way, you cannot drop in my lane. Tires is burning the pain, you don't have nothing to say.
Every time David steps in the ring, I'm very concerned for the opponents, you know, the sparring partners, but at the end of the day, we have to do it, you know? You know, these guys are taking a lot of punishment, but we gotta be at our best. November 22nd, this is a fight.
What's up, guys? I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. We're right here back in the gym. We got our next upcoming fight against Zurdo Ramirez, Cinco de Mayo weekend, and you know, I'm gonna give you guys a little preview of what's gonna happen. Well, good. I'm very excited going up to capture two more titles. So I'm very excited, man. Cruiserweight will come. So May 2nd, tune in, baby.
Recuerden, amigos, no se les olvide, 5 de mayo, el monstruo mexicano regresa a Las Vegas, Nevada. Zurdo Ramirez, 2 títulos. No se lo pierdan.
David Benavidez is all set for May 2nd, Cinco de Mayo weekend, when he takes on Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez in a clash that could see him become a 3-division world champion if he wins.
Not a sparring. You want to spar David? That's what you're gonna do. Either you get better or you're just gonna get hurt.
I got the feel in my veins, trust me, I'm making a name. We are not one and the same, I am on top of the game. I got out the line on my brakes, and that's what the drive is insane. Heart of a champ, adrenaline rushes is numbing the pain. I just been bringing the heat, I just been bringing the
Right now we're at the boxer gym, the main gym. We got some sparring in. It's a good opportunity to show the fans some good boxing. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they get excited to see me. I give them some rounds and I leave them wanting for more. So, you know, people are definitely gonna tune into the fight. So I'm able to perform in front of the fans before the fight. So we had a great day, did some good sparring, and yeah, man, keep working.
Working in our camp, everything's going well, super excited, motivated, and everything's going super good. We're almost like about 2 months away from the fight, and no cuts, no injuries, everything's going as planned. I think we're ahead of the plan, and super excited, super happy with everything that's going on.
Despite being the favorite going into this fight, David isn't taking any chances as he's busy sweating it out in the gym. The Mexican Monster is the most feared boxer for a reason, and we can see that clearly as his speed and power connect perfectly during training camp. However, it's not going to be an easy fight because in the middle of him and glory stands the Mexican Zurdo Ramirez, who will be eager to prove himself in front of a large crowd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Not just that, Zurdo will also want to hold on to and successfully defend his WBA and WBO cruiserweight titles and cause a massive upset on fight night.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
I think he will do great because he's a big guy, he's strong. It's interesting to see him in 175. I mean, I want to see him with the best, and I think he can be a world champion. He's my friend, but in the ring, we want to fight with the best, right? And he's one of the best, and I want to fight with the best too. It will be exciting in the ring because it's two Mexicans in the ring. I mean, it's exciting, and I have a lot of respect for him, for his family, the dad, and I know them. All of them will be training for so many years, but I mean, we agreed to fight each other, but eventually, I think will happen.
Come on, Zurdo, let's go! Time.
As you've seen, Zurdo Ramirez is no pushover, and certainly not an easy challenge for David. While he doesn't possess the speed or power, his size and technical abilities could give David Benavidez a tough time in the ring. It's not an impossible challenge though, as David has the experience having fought several boxers with similar styles. During their latest press conference, the Mexican Monster shed more light on their sparring sessions, and talked about why this clash was inevitable, who never took easy paths. He views this bout as a defining moment to become the face of boxing, noting that the stakes are incredibly high for both men's legacies. Ramirez echoed this sentiment, acknowledging Benavidez's prowess while expressing his own desire to be the best by defeating the best. Both fighters agree that competing at cruiserweight allows them to showcase their full talent. Samson Lukovic recalled the origin story of his partnership with the Mexican Monster. He shared that he first heard of the young fighter after Benavidez dominated sparring sessions in the Virgin Islands. Despite never seeing him fight in person, Lukovic trusted his instincts and signed him, eventually fulfilling a promise to make him the youngest super middleweight champion. Lukovic expresses immense pride in the Benavidez family and their decade-long journey together. He highlights David's discipline, specifically his ability to move between weight classes as requested, as a key reason for their enduring success and the historic heights they have reached in
You forever.
David Benavidez is definitely the favorite going into this fight. His experience and boxing accolades automatically make him the favorite. Besides, the experts also tend to agree that Zurdo doesn't stand a chance against the Mexican Monster. Gabe Rosado recently shared his first-hand experience sparring both David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez, noting he has worked with Benavidez since the fighter was only 15 years old. He describes their styles as distinct, with Benavidez bringing high intensity and aggression, while Ramirez focuses more on technical adjustments during training. Rosado favors Benavidez in the upcoming fight, primarily due to his superior output and relentless walk-down style. He suggests that Ramirez lacks the heavyweight level power needed to keep Benavidez at bay, and will require a perfect performance, characterized by sharp boxing and peak conditioning, to have a chance at victory.
I saw in an episode of Inside the Ring that you mentioned that you've sparred with like Baval and Benavidez and Zurdo. It was just announced that, Benavidez and Zurdo are going to fight. Give me your insights on what it's like sparring those three, and what a fight might look like between Benavidez and Zurdo in your eyes.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? It was all good work with all these guys, and I'm saying, and the most I've sparred with, so I only got one sparring session in with Bivol, but Zurdo and Benavidez, like, we spar a number of times, man. I lost count how many times I've sparred those dudes, because I've been sparring Benavidez since he was like 15, when I used to do my training camps in Arizona, in Phoenix. So I would work with him, and then he eventually then would come to Wild Card, and then we'd work at Wild Card. And same with Zurdo. But the difference I would say is, Zurdo is more he's more on working on things, you know what I'm saying, and Benavidez is just more, he goes aggressive, you know what I'm saying, and Zurdo does like 10 rounds of sparring. So
okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, Benavidez. Benavidez does. So yeah, man, I think the intensity is just different between them sparring, man. But the thing is, like, since I've sparred with them for so long, we always had good rhythm working together. You know what I'm saying? It was very similar to each other. So, but yeah, man, it's really good, man. I think it's a tough fight. I think shit, man, you got to favor Benavidez just because of the volume.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The volume. And I think Zurdo's going to have to be on his A game. Like, it's going to have to be the best Zurdo in order for him to beat Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to really box well, stick a jab out there, and be in tip-top shape.
British light heavyweight boxer Callum Smith also analyzed the fight recently, and he picked the Mexican monster to win, citing hand speed as the primary advantage. He notes that while both fighters originally campaigned at super middleweight, Ramirez appears much larger at cruiserweight. However, Smith believes the size difference won't be the deciding factor. Smith also points out that Benavidez's willingness to move up and take this fight suggests he felt confident during their previous sparring sessions. While he respects Benavidez's ambition to jump between weight classes for big opportunities, he warns that returning to light heavyweight after competing at cruiserweight can be physically taxing, drawing comparisons to Roy Jones Jr.'s career.
Yeah, and before I do go, another fight I wanted to ask you about, a champion at light heavyweight, moving up to cruiserweight, David Benavidez taking on Zurdo Ramirez. I guess what's your pick in that fight, if David moving up?
It's a good fight, really good fight. I just think speed with Benavidez probably maybe be the difference. I think he's got really fast hands. I don't think Ramirez is the fastest.
Yeah.
I think the speed, and I don't think Ramirez, neither of them are genuine massive cruiserweight, so I don't think the size will be too much of a factor. Although we've seen head-to-head and Ramirez looks massive to be fair, considering they both come from 168. But yeah, I just think the speed of Benavidez will probably be, plus they've sparred a lot as well, so I don't think if Benavidez fancied it too much, he doesn't have to go up to cruiserweight, so the fact that he's choosing to do it means he probably likes how the spars went.
Do you think him coming back, like him talking about coming back down to light heavy, is a negative effect, I guess, of him?
It depends how he goes up in terms of how much weight, natural weight he puts on, and to come right back it will be tough. Like I feel like ruined Roy Jones coming back from
that's what everyone always uses.
But I don't know. I think it's weird because I think the fight he probably wants is to meet Bivol.
Yeah.
But then if I was Bivol, I'd want to fight him for his cruiserweight belt rather than this. So I don't know whether does he come back down. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I think he'll go with what he's shown throughout his career, which is I like him. He'll go wherever the big fights are. He was a 168. Canelo had all the belts tied up, so he moved to 175, and now he's moving to cruiserweight. So I think he'll go wherever the big fight is.
Boxing legend Sean Porter also broke down the matchup, characterizing it as a must-see offensive shootout. Porter highlighted Ramirez's technical improvements, specifically noting his effective use of angles, pivots, and lateral movement after the early rounds of his recent performance. He observes that while Ramirez took some clean shots, his ability to step around and keep working showed a high level of ring intelligence. The analysis also focused on the physical similarities between the two fighters. Porter points out that both men possess a similar build and stature, standing taller than many established champions in the higher weight classes. Because of their size, he suggests the fight would be compelling regardless of whether it took place at 168 or 175 pounds, as both athletes naturally carry the frame of larger fighters. Porter also touches on the rumored history between the two, mentioning reports of intense wars during their sparring sessions. He notes that despite their friendship, both fighters have expressed a willingness to face each other in a professional capacity. To Porter, the combination of their aggressive styles and shared history makes this a high-stakes rivalry that deserves more attention among fans.
And changing in the styles, I saw Zurdo stepping around. I mean, his movement in this fight and his pivots.
Hell of a record,
42-0.
Yeah, 43-0.
Crazy now, 43-0. Yeah. But his pivots and the way that he was utilizing the angles after that fourth round, the fourth round was bananas. Mm-hmm. And after that fourth round, it's like he understood I got to step around and keep working and step around and keep working. I was like, I'm watching it. I was like, why are we talking about Benavidez versus Zurdo?
You talk about an offensive shootout would be those two. Did they really? I didn't know that.
They apparently had wars up in Big Bear.
I'm not
Abel
shocked
Sanchez's summit.
Ooh.
Oh no, I heard that they went to they're really good friends too, apparently. But
okay, don't sound like it.
No. As good of friends as they are, they've went to war and they both agreed that they would be down to fight each other. Mm-hmm. So one of those friendships.
I would love to see that fight because now we're looking at a 168 we're looking at two 168 fighters who are practically the same size, same build.
Was this Zurdo's third fight at 175?
Third or fourth.
I think
this was
I thought it was his third.
Yeah, third fight. So I feel like he could come
third
back
or fourth,
right,
one of the two.
Be right there 168 and make that fight happen.
So you think he goes down to 168 or Benavidez goes to 75?
Either or. I like either 75.
or.
I think it just makes sense to go to 75.
They're bigger than most 75 pounders when they move up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both taller than Beterbiev and Bivol.
The trainer for Ramirez, Malik Scott, recently offered a candid assessment of the clash with David Benavidez and came out with a stern warning for the Mexican monster. While Scott acknowledges that Benavidez is an incredible pound-for-pound talent who effectively walks opponents down, he asserts that Ramirez is currently the best cruiserweight in the world. He predicts that while this may be one of Ramirez's toughest challenges, he expects Benavidez to be defeated. Scott's confidence stems from what he perceives as a lack of versatility in Benavidez's recent opponents. He argues that most fighters simply fight at Benavidez's preferred pace and allow him to dictate the terms of the engagement. According to Scott, Alexander Gvozdyk is the only recent opponent who forced Benavidez to truly adjust and competed with him effectively. The trainer emphasizes that Ramirez knows how to do everything in the ring, implying a level of technical depth that will force Benavidez out of his comfort zone. Scott believes that once Benavidez is forced to adapt rather than just apply pressure, the outcome will favor Ramirez. This perspective sets the stage for a highly tactical battle where Ramirez's size and multifaceted skill set are expected to provide the decisive edge.
Going to fight somebody who you know, somebody you work with, Zurdo Ramirez. What do you make of that fight? How dangerous of a challenge is David Benavidez?
It's very dangerous, but Zurdo Ramirez is the best cruiserweight in the world, and this right here is going to be not only probably his toughest fight, but he's about to get defeated by Zurdo Ramirez.
What's the difference between the two of them? Why are you so confident Zurdo will handle the business of David Benavidez?
Well, Zurdo knows how to do everything. To me, David Benavidez is an incredible pound for pound, a ring pound for pound, but he's very good at doing what he's doing. I don't see nobody like making him have to adjust. Alex Golshevic, I believe I'm saying his last name right. He's the only one that fought him very well to me. Everybody else seemed to fight him a little bit, on his pace and let him do what he wants.
The Mexican monster looks to make history this Cinco de Mayo holidays. While Zurdo Ramirez might not be his toughest opponent, he's still gonna have a tough time dealing with a boxer who he's already sparred before. But can Zurdo Ramirez cause an upset on May 2nd? Or will David Benavidez cruise to yet another victory in a new weight class? We'd love to hear your predictions for this matchup, so don't forget to share them in the comments. That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.